The BOM Designer form can also be used to work with BOMs. It provides a visual tree structure to view the BOM. It is accessed directly from either the Bill of Materials form or the Released Products List page. The BOM Designer is an alternative for users who prefer to work with BOMs by using a graphical user interface, sometimes referred to as a GUI, instead of a linear one. To create simple BOMs, access the BOM Designer from the Bill of Materials form. It can also be accessed from Released Products. Let's switch over to AX and I'll show you how to use the BOM Designer form and demonstrate some of the additional features. I'll do this from the Release Products page, so I'll switch over to Product Information Management and then open Release Products in the Common area. For this demonstration, I'll start with an item that already has a bill of material created. I'll select that mid-range speaker that we were looking at earlier, and then go to the Engineer tab in the Action pane, and then click the Designer button in the BOM group. This will open up the BOM Designer. This form is split into 3 basic panes. On the left pane are buttons and functions that you can perform. Depending on what node you have selected in the tree will depend on which buttons and functions are available. On the right-hand side of the form, you will see a list of all of the available items. In the tree, you can see all of the items that are currently a part of this particular BOM. In this case, there are several different items included, and you can see the item number and the item description. You can tell that you're looking at the item number and description by looking at the gray field at the bottom of the form. Additional information can also be displayed here by going to the Setup tab and then selecting additional options for what should be displayed. For example, if I wanted the quantity to display, I can mark the checkbox for quantity and unit of measure. You can mark as many checkboxes as you want, and when you go back to the Designer tab, additional columns and information will display. Again, when you review at the bottom of the screen, you can see exactly what is being displayed. Let's say I need to add another item to this particular order. Let's say some HDMI cables will be included with this particular speaker set. So I can literally click on a particular item and then drag and drop it into the bill of material. When you're dropping the item, depending on where you place your cursor will change where the item will be placed. For this example, I'll drop it onto the bottom. By default, the quantities will come in from whatever the item is configured for. If you right-click on one of the nodes in the tree, you can open the properties. You can also, from the right-click menu, lock the route, remove the link, edit it, delete it, or open the item table. We'll edit it. This will open up the Edit BOM line where you can see all the details that can be modified for this particular line. Here you can see the consumption information, just like you can see the consumption information over on the regular Bill of Material lines form. We'll go ahead and specify a warehouse here, and then close the window. Notice that the approval of the formula has now been removed. This is because I updated this particular bill of material. You can also use the buttons along the left-hand side of the screen to update. So for example, if I wanted to update the tweeter speaker unit, I can highlight the node and then click Edit. This will open up the same Edit BOM line form that we were just looking at. If a particular line is no longer required, you can highlight the line and click Delete. You'll notice that the check button, Edit BOM versions, Route version, and Calculation buttons are disabled. This is because I'm in the line of a particular BOM. If you highlight the top node in the tree, you'll notice that the Edit button and Delete buttons are disabled, but the other buttons become enabled. The Check BOM button will check for circularity. When you open this screen, you can mark the Check for Circularity checkbox, which principle you want to use, and which searching intervals you want to use. I'll go ahead and click OK and show you the results. You can see that no errors were found on this particular BOM. I'll go ahead and show you how we can add another item to this. In this example, I'll show you how we can add another bill of material. Here you can see the symbol for bill of material, so I'll go ahead and drag and drop this cabinet into my bill of material. You'll notice that when you drag and drop a bill of material in, the tree node is expandable. When you expand that bill of material, you can see the details of the subcomponents that are included in that particular sub-BOM. This process could go on for several different levels. In a multiple level BOM, there's no limit to the number of levels that you can add. Again, it's important to remember that when you select a top level node, it's not possible to modify the information at the very top level, but when you select a sub-BOM, all of the buttons become enabled. So if I needed to, I could click the Edit BOM Versions to modify this particular BOM version. Here you can see the information about the dates, the site, the quantities, and so on. If needed, I could create a new BOM version from this screen by clicking the Create BOM button. When you're completed and finished with the BOM design, you can use the Calculation button to calculate the total costs of the bill of material or to print the details of the bill of material. Be sure to join me in the next lesson where we'll review what we've learned in this module.